What's up, guys? Duncan the Highlander here. And you're going to see me right now go for my second title as I'm fighting in Combat Zone, which is out of New Hampshire, essentially making this the New Hampshire title. Combat Zone is also owned by Calvin Kattar, who is currently the UFC's 14th ranked featherweight, which is just something that's pretty interesting and pretty cool. So here I'm going to start off pressuring him, pushing him back against the cage. I use a kick. One thing I like is that as he shot on me, I was able to lower my weight right away, circle, and get him right up against the cage, which is just nice that I was able to push him against the cage right away. Then from here, I go for a takedown of my own. I'm able to get nice and deep on his hips, get a nice high elevation on him. Now start to work for the mount. Now there's a lot of things here. Now he's able to get some reversals on me, but after watching this fight a couple times, in all honesty, all of his reversals that he's able to get on me involve using the cage, which doesn't mean they're not legit. They're legit, but in all reality, it's just because I wasn't being diligent on keeping his hips away from the cage and specifically keeping his legs off the cage. And that's why he was able to utilize the cage. So see, here's the second time where he squirts again to the cage, and he's able to use the cage to sweep me, which is good on him. And that's what puts him into some shots here. Those shots might not look like much, but those suck, those little punches. So then here he starts to get up. I tried to see if I could stand up and shuck him off. He did a good job at using his hooks to start to try to flatten me out. And then I wasn't defending the neck because I was too busy hoping that I could get his weight off of me. So here he goes. He starts to try to get the neck. And I'm defending. And I start to think, I'm like, shit, I guess this is the end. I guess I'm going to lose. And I was really disappointed in myself that those thoughts went through my mind, but they did. But then I said, no, I'm just going to tuck my head and I'm going to turn and I'm going to just do my best to try to win, even though I'm going to be exhausted. And I'm happy I did. But it's crazy. I learned a lot about myself. And in that moment, I'm not going to lie, I was thinking about giving up, but then I didn't. Then here we are. He starts to go for my leg. As he's going for the leg, I'm trying to defend, trying to make sure I don't get triangled. But he starts to go for a leg lock. Here I roll. And here, as he's going, he's trying to, like I said, he's trying to get my leg. And what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to stack him. Here I do another roll. I'm trying to stack him so that he can't straighten out my leg, straighten out my ankle. And here finally I'm in a position where I can deliver some punches. You might be wondering why I wasn't punching beforehand, but that's because I couldn't have risked letting go and letting him straighten out my leg at that time. But then once I was able to get weight on him so that I could punch, that allowed me to use a crossface, get him out of the position. Here I'm in mount. Start landing a little bit of stuff, but the round ends, and yet again we are against the cage. So second round starts, and yet again I try to use my pressure. Now after this front kick, I actually felt, well, you could see that front kick really winded him. And here what I really should have done is, this is the second time that after using a shot, using some combinations that really got him hurt, you saw his body reaction. Instead, for some reason, I clinched with him again and brought him down to the ground, which is just giving him more opportunity than he needed. He was a grappler. His best opportunity was to out-grapple me. He wanted it to be a jiu-jitsu match, and yet I kept putting it into a jiu-jitsu match with him. What's nice about it is that I kind of beat him at his own game, but I just was putting myself in situations that I didn't need to be. Now, by this time, he had swept me a few times with the cage. So what you notice is this time what I did was I walked his body away from the cage. So even in the fight, I'm learning. He's used the cage a few times to push me off and to sweep me. So there you notice I start to push him towards me. And you'll hear maybe the announcer say that I kind of go for a lazy choke there, which is true. Here, what I was trying to do is I try to step over here to get the head and arm choke. But I don't have my head tucked. See, I need my head tucked tighter and my hips lower, because that's why he was able to turn. Then when he turned, this kind of put me into like a schoolyard headlock position. So then what I did was I tried to change it over to, well, I was trying to get a crucifix, but instead of getting a crucifix, I kind of got like a scarf, Russian-style armbar. I'm really hyperextending his arm here. I look at the ref and I tell him, I go, I'm going to break his arm. But I didn't, and I shouldn't have done that. I should have just kept fucking him up. But here, you can't see it because the angle of the camera changes, but the only reason why he's able to get my back, he's about to take my back. The only reason why he's able to take my back is because I changed my grips. And what I think I could do at this time, it was what I was thinking I could do, is I thought that I could literally push his arm and hyperextend it into my knee. So you saw you saw how his arm was stuck into my knee. I thought that I could push it and hyperextend it that way, but instead I didn't. When I gave him my back though, that allowed me to go straight for the Kimura. So that almost was like a nice little setup for the Kimura, because once he took my back, it's a very classic counter to when someone takes your back, is to get the Kimura. At first, I was too far out because I didn't have my legs in some sort of a guard. So there I got the shrimped back into the half guard. And then here you see me, he's on top of me, and I need to try to find space between us so that I can sit up. So he moves a little bit, and as he moves, that gives me the angle so that I can sit up and roll him over on top. Then here, crush over his head and get the tap. I was very mad. Wow.
Did he verbally tap? No.
Seconds of round number 2. Referee John English stops this championship contest. The winner by tap out from a Kimura, and now your brand new Combat Zone amateur welterweight champion, Duncan the Highlander Smith.
Well, Duncan just he just wrecked your wipeout there.
You wrecked the wipeout of red. All right, well, we have ourselves a new amateur MMA welterweight champion. Congratulations to Duncan Smith. That's going to do it here for Combat Zone 67. Mike Katrovis, Jack Green, Dan Bonnell. We will see you back here on November 17th, right at the Manchester Downtown Hotel.
Let's see how many of you guys stuck around. Hey, if you guys like these videos, please show your support. If you guys have stuck around all the way this far, go to northsport.com. Get yourself some of those supplements. Use the promo code Duncan the Highlander. Save yourself 10% off any of the things that you can find at northsport.com. So get on that, number one. Number two, since you guys are already here, please give me a hand. See if you can't like these videos. See if you can't give them a thumbs up, give them a share, leave a comment down below, and have yourself a very, very, very happy Thanksgiving. My next fight, February the 2nd, and I will be fighting my first jiu-jitsu black belt on the year before I go pro. So now it starts, guys. All these fights are real. They count. Let's go. Whoos. Help me.